Okay. Guess you're not live until you're live and think I'm live. YouTube's new studio is still fairly annoying. Alright, so we ended off the day yesterday kind of not doing anything. Sold off just a tiny bit and didn't move at all. I think the cues were basically flat. Just super tiny. Super tiny candle. On the cues the day before, that was a pretty nice reversal day though. What's up with that? Interesting. Restoration Hardware. Extending here. Great day yesterday. Oh, they had earnings. That's why. That's why. They had some earnings. Small caps and NASDAQ spear declines. That's not so good. Five distribution days of the NASDAQ and the S&P. Looks like Shopify is rallying. Oh, yeah, look at yesterday. Wow. And the day before, too. Not too bad. ENDP up 3% again today. ENDP yesterday with a really nice day. The buying really didn't let up most of the day. Well, looks like we're rallying today as well. That's not too bad. Headed up to 6.5 level. We'll see if that keeps going right there. Not bad. AMD may be attempting to bounce back. Let's check out the global watch list for a little bit. All right, we got 5. Some fairly interesting numbers showing up there. INSG showing up again, green, going for highs. Auto Home, ENDP. Funko maybe trying to make a turnaround. That's a little dangerous. MYY, ENDP. Stop following me, ENDP. How's Nike doing? So far, so good. Bit of a cup and handle right there. Does qualify as a flat base, so that this is a flat base technically, not a cup and handle. Morning, Jake. Good morning, Brian. Nice you guys to join. We got a market after a couple of big down days, just kind of taking its time, going sideways here for a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Still in the middle of the Bollinger Bands on the Nasdaq, so could swing in either direction. Very news based still. Some more China stuff still pumping us here, pumping us there. So no major market movers. We got a couple things moving up and down on earnings. Restoration Hardware gapping up, but selling off a little bit right now. Yeah, just the market is generally choppy, very similar to the indexes at this moment in time. Who would have thought? Market's following the indexes. Sounds about right. Visa's still very sideways in its pattern, its consolidation. Tesla's still doing fine up here, resting around the 350 level. Well, 330. Looks like 350 on the chart. In MongoDB right now, after trying to pop up, pulling way back down. So, yeah, really not much is working out very well. 5 appears to be extending on some earnings. I'm not sure what 18-cent earnings is making them pop up. There must have been some good news with the earnings report. Restoration Hardware. Okay, now trying to go back up, also with earnings. So they actually beat earnings. That's good. Yesterday had a pocket pivot. INSG, this guy we were looking at forever and then kind of got away from us here a little bit. A lot of pocket pivots thrown in right there. Looks like recently trying to get over this high at 690 something. That could provide a small entry point for a continuation move. So far this has been kind of stuck in a very aggressive rising trend. That's not necessarily a bad thing. So that could continue. Ideally get some volume to push you higher in INSG. But it's all-time highs right now. So that is a good thing. You see a lot of names, NBEV, Weibo, moving sharply lower. Ulta been lower. Nike stagnant up there. Looks like they had earnings too. So you see the earnings aren't really jumping the market around very much right here. Not massively impressed with its bullish ability at the moment. Kind of been lazy the past week. Just been actually raising cash. Market not looking like it's providing much opportunity. Morning, Rob. Some setups, but lack of actual follow-through is the disconcerting part here. VIPS, as of recently, has been doing okay. Had a pop. It was most of it was on the pop. Even my actionable list isn't very on fire. Well, it's usually keeping up with most of the market movers. But it's pretty timid as of late. Momo's still looking pretty decent in that bull flag setup. It's got to break out of it, though. JD, the similar setup. Baba not waiting for a setup. Goose. Skyworks isn't too bad. We've been hawking Skyworks for a long time. Really has failed to pull back. It's just said no thank you. Looks like it is at some point going to try to roll higher. Actually, if you draw a little trend line, looks like we could be trying to do it now. Yeah, there you go. So that could, just failing right there at the $100 level. And in the bigger picture, Skyworks does appear to have some resistance up here, 110, 1 to 110, 120. Interesting. Winnebago also in a similar flag setup. This has been a big leader this year. Huge, from 20 to 50 for a guy that makes Winnebagos. Not bad. Some nice moves over here. Pocket pivot the day before yesterday, coming off of this low. Spike down to the 50-day moving average, and then maybe move back up and through these other moving averages. And Winnebago could have another leg. I would argue to have proper volume on that as well. And so far, not a lot of major entry points here for stocks as of late. A couple things doing okay. AMD actually able to bounce off of lows pretty nicely there. That's good. Okta, which was looking very nice out of that lower channel line, forming a nice little consolidation. Could be a pullback by here to the 20-period moving average. Although it looks like it has earnings coming up 12.5 today after market. So Okta with earnings today. Looks like a lot of the earnings premium is just being eaten up. I mean, you look at a couple earnings have come out. We're up 2%, we're up 4%, we're up 1%. So really take a look at the premium if you're looking at buying options before earnings, because I bet you the premium just disappears the following day. And then you're just out the premium, which always sucks. What I mean by that is if you let's look at some Okta options real quick. So looking at Okta options, let's just say you want to trade for the pop, so you're going to go for this. I guess you can even go for this 1 day, which expires tomorrow. Since earnings are tonight, that's not too bad. So you got 123 is your current out of the money call price. You're going to pay $4.90, $4.80. So it's going to have to go 123 plus 480, which is going to be 127.80 for it to even break even on the trade. And so 127.80 is going to give you about 4%. So this has got to move 4% just for you to break even. 4 to 5% just for you to break even on that specific trade. And that's only for 1 day of volatility. You're paying $4.70. Let's go out for 8 days of volatility. You're paying an extra buck. So, and then watch you go to 2020 and you're only paying $7. That's actually paying less than $7. So, it actually makes more sense to buy the January, which is out 43 days, than it is to buy the 1 or the 8-day call. So keep in mind these were from 123, or 122, and then the January is from 120. So you're paying twice the premium for an extra 40 times the amount of time. Options are finicky little bitches. They'll trick you, man. ACB, let's take a look. By ACB again. For that kind of a pop, I don't know. I wasn't a fan the first time around, Jake, if you recall. Yeah, it's not my setup, buddy. Not really. Now, my type of setup here would maybe be over. Looks like there's a bit of resistance there at about the 255 level. You see some volume above 255 maybe. But looks like you're kind of in a 1-to-1 risk-reward situation here, depending on where your stop is. If your stop's going to be here 236 or your buy point's going to be 264, you're right in the middle. So I don't really see a major edge on the market right there. These pops are few and far between. I'm not sure if you're looking at a secondary indicator to try to indicate selling pressure is waning, but not one that's for me, that's for sure. All these MJ stocks are still deep in these downtrends. Even MJ itself is, we had a kind of a big, kids leaving? I think the kids are leaving. We had this spike down, big move up, and then nothing after that. So this here is likely just short covering, which doesn't imply a more bullish rally. So personally, I would argue no, Jake. That's not my cup of tea. Although ACB is said to be one of the more quality MJ companies. Actually, it's even extending down further from that trend line. So, yeah, the MJ space is just damaged. Damaged goods. AMD up 1%. So AMD not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Able to reverse higher. We have a lower low. They're kind of an undercut of this prior low, then back up through the 20-day. That could have been a nice entry point. I need to work on those entries a little more. I don't really have a lot of Cena with a very nice flag setup. Look at this extremely large decline for years. This is a weekly chart. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 years of decline, and then we have a beautiful breakup into a very nice looking flag pattern. And moving averages 10 and 20 have caught up, so we could be ready to jump off of this. This is actually fairly intriguing. Oh, looks like my lines are good, so yeah, we may have already broken out a pocket pivot on that bottom. That could be one of those reversal pocket pivots up through some moving averages. So I don't know what Cena's got in store, but so far it's not too bad. Let's take a look at what IBD says about Cena. Synaptics, yeah. 77 composite rating, 98 relative strength rating. Earnings suck, sales suck. Accumulation is great, no percentage change in funds owning stock, but that should change as of the next quarter based on the recent action there. Technicals meet fundamentals, definitely do not. Sales, EPS is negative, sales are negative. Tax margins, pre-tax margins 11%, ROE is 20%, which isn't too bad. Supplies custom designed human interface product solutions for mobile and electronic devices, whatever the hell that means. I don't even know what that means. Wow, what's that involved, Jake? Is that on TradingView? IPHI, inability to break that Head and Shoulders neckline definitively, so maybe we could reverse higher. Cool. Is it like a Bitcoin only thing, or is it altcoins? Or I noticed that a lot of strategies tend to favor one versus another. ETH BTC, gotcha. Okay. Can't be mad at that. Cool. What made you try ETH BTC, or did you find a strategy and then just started picking coins to try to play with? Yeah, one thing about crypto is each one has its own little personality. Yeah, it's a big drop. Late stage fail today. Looks like a buyable gap down. I mean, look at how crazy that is. I don't know. That's a huge gap down. I don't know what else is in their pipeline. That's crazy. All right, PayPal and Visa. Not going quite yet. Got a couple of yeah. So market, not I don't know if we're quite ready to turn around. We could be. We have filled the whole Bollinger Band. Now we're kind of spiking back up. Gotcha. Alibaba making it to the top of the list here. Looking at Alibaba for a while. Still don't have a super good play for it. That should probably get changed. You know what, Rob? I've tried trading CHK. It's just all over the damn place, man. You can't trade that. Well, let me rephrase that. It doesn't trend at all. Like it'll trend for a little bit, but the second it hits a resistance or something, it just dies. Just dies. All right, where's the target for Baba? Arguably 211, which it really isn't that far away. See, that's not too bad. Alibaba go back to 211. Well, January's pretty good. Which are recent highs, you're looking at 206, which isn't too far away either. So it's definitely be a first stage base for Alibaba. Question is it going to break the highs? Home down 36%. What's going on is they're just getting beat up. I mean, you're just seeing the market's a little bit timid. we really have seen lack of extreme movement the past couple of weeks. So you're seeing that in people taking risk off the table, which is why they're getting out of names like Sage and Home. They're trying to exit out of their more risky positions when they don't favor their storyline. So let's take a look at Home. And this thing's been in a perpetual downtrend anyways, so usually the focus, at least for me, is on the indexes and what stocks are actually working and moving and running and why. At least see if you could ascertain as to why. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you can. Like when the cloud names are running, obviously they're cloud, um, and they're accumulating that particular industry. Right now, we don't really know what industry they're accumulating. You could argue the industry, the sectors that are holding up the best, that they're picking at as we're kind of resting here with the market's doing a little bit of fuddish thing. But other than that, it's pretty. I mean, we're pretty. Like Skyworks is a good example of something that isn't really selling off, which is good. You're in a good situation here in Skyworks, but for a vast majority of stocks, that action's a little few and far between. Ping pulled back a little yesterday. DDOG isn't doing very great. All these other names that we've been following are like Domino's Pizza failed to rally into all-time highs, so they're not ready to run that, which they love running Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza and Sherwin-Williams should start a company that delivers pizza and paints houses at the same time. Make buco bucks. So AVGO with a massive cup and handle here. Let's see if this even qualifies. It actually does qualify. So this is a huge cup and handle for AVGO. Arguably your buy point would be right there about the 315. So this thing could blast off if the market decides to come back to life. Nvidia broke above a kind of a little lower consolidation, but really hasn't moved very far. Again, you're trying to notice where the money's flowing to, and so far, like they're holding Fortinet up decently well, so that's good. They're not running it though, but you can see they stopped it from selling off the other day. They stopped a lot of things from selling off the other day, so that could give you a bit of an inclination the market wants to stay up here. Whether it's ready to rally is a different issue, but it's at least willing to spend some time in this area. DR Horton, not bad. Nvidia, Kiwi, I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of Kiwi. I'm not a super fan of Kiwi, but it's above a longer term trend line. I'll give it a little bit more time. Match.com, this one really failed to get going. Not happy with that one. Lights still holding up there, which is nice. PFPT, SLV, Visa not broken yet. Okta, nice pullback. Yeah, I'm getting rid of Court. All right, Ring still holding nicely above the trend line we noted the other day. This is on a very short list of good-looking stocks. It looks like that continues. The only bad thing is that we didn't have any volume the other day right there. Absolutely none. There's no volume. I mean, compared to the holidays, it looks good, but not compared to everyday life. Now, that could be viewed as a good thing, though, because we're not selling off. So that could be good. You could be interested, maybe entry position as it tries to exit this pattern. In terms of how long is it going to take to get going is a whole different situation. But Ring looking promising. Promising doesn't make any money. DHI, SOI, no. Melly, kind of lost a little bit of its luster there. Okta, PayPal hasn't returned. GMED's working up towards all-time high breakout, 57.83 on the weekly chart. Working its way up there, but it's not really worthy of your love yet. And Sherman-Williams with a rare rollover pattern right there. Sequence of lower highs getting to the 20-day moving average, which it actually is the 50-day. Excuse me. Carvana stalling a little bit. Win still not over that trend line. Regeneron, BEP, pullback today. Buy it. INMD, pulling in pretty hard there. Yeah, good volumes past couple of days. Doesn't look like a lot of buying pressure. ENDP down 2% today. So see, this one was one of the ones that it was looking the best. Rallying actually through here, and it looks like it's stalling right there. We'll see. Could be an opportunity, but I see some block selling stepping in here on the 5-minute chart. But looks like we get down here towards a 525 level. That may be a buying opportunity. It may just be backing and filling in today. And then MongoDB and DDog. So there you go, fill in the gap. I'm not sure if that's a gap fill you want to buy, but we undercut those lows right there, and past couple of days have been holding down here. So I'm not so sure you want to buy that gap fill. You could, but I'd much rather wait for a little bit of strength, maybe on a trend line break or something like that. And the market's selling off here as well. So yeah, not super. Looks like Restoration Hardware took another leg higher. There you go. Price target raised to 230. Rob is mentioning that. Sometimes that means something, sometimes it doesn't. That just... Oh, big price targets from a couple of different places. That's why. Wedbush, UBS, Stifel Nicolaus, Bayard. So go Restoration Hardware. Bam. There's a leader right there. Retail's leading. What's Target doing? What's Walmart doing? Target, not looking too bad. Walmart, loosely okay. Best Buy is BBY, right? Yeah. Best Buy, not bad. Those are some of your larger retailers. Macy's, MCY. No, just M. Ugh. Never mind. Don't look at Macy's. Look away. So, yeah, market a little stagnant. Something's setting up like they're wanting to go, but the market's just not pushing it yet. I think a lot of patience is warranted here. More patience. You got to have patience when the market's trying to figure itself out. Just like a teenager, it's trying to figure itself out. Don't rush it. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. And my grass is coming in pretty good today. Not bad. I'm not feeling too bad about that. All right, guys, I'm going to bounce. Stay safe out there. Take profits when you got them. And try to keep a lot of cash on hand in this market environment. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.